Hey, what's up, guys? So I finally installed the Z1 dual exhaust on the 350Z, and basically I want to talk to you guys how I came to that decision to get that, show you a cold start, some of the droning noises when you're on the highway, and just some other overall thoughts and how I like it. So let's go. Okay, so here's a really close-up glimpse, and even from this angle it looks so clean. Like, you can see the welding on the actual, well, at least you can see the exhaust tips part of it, but I believe it's machine welded, and the finish looks so like perfect compared to what you could buy on like eBay or stuff for honestly pretty similar prices. And with this you get the pretty subtle but cool Z1 logos on it, and it's actually on both sides of the mufflers, like the left and right of each tip. And honestly, I like this design better than like Tomy, because I kind of think like the blue tips are a little obnoxious. So I'm like 100% for Z1 over Tomy, honestly, even in the looks. So here's a cold start. I'm gonna get in the car. So that cold start outside, I know you could probably tell a little bit, but it honestly sounds so good. Like, I've listened to videos from other people when they installed it, and I honestly couldn't tell like how good or loud at that matter it was gonna sound. And I think it's from like the difference of hearing the audio, or how the audio is captured, surround sound versus just like compressed into digital. But when you're in the car and outside of the car, the videos online really don't do it justice. At least for the dual tip like I got. It seriously sounds so much better in person than the videos you can see online. Honestly, probably even this video. So right now I'm in the cabin in the car, and you can still hear it, and I'm not like putting on the accelerator or anything, and it honestly sounds like you're in a pretty powerful car, like a pretty powerful V6. I know, as cringy as that sounds to say, but it really sounds good. So, and this is with the door closed. And yeah, a thing I was gonna mention, you could hear, like, you can make pops from this that you probably heard in the sound, which I think on Z1's video they showed it doing pops, but I assume that was a crazy tuned, probably not naturally aspirated car. But the pops on this sound so good, and it finally doesn't sound like a trumpet VQ or DE, HR, anything like that. It sounds really good, guys. And for the price, I paid like in the five to 600 range, which for an exhaust like this is a racing exhaust. It's a really good price. Like, people buy exhausts on eBay for these cars for like 200 to 300, and they sound so bad. But you could spend a couple $100s more and honestly get, like, this is a high quality exhaust. It's technically made for racing, and I'll try to put in a video later, but I had some concerns about the silencers on this. But the Z1 exhaust, the dual exhaust even, comes with 2 silencers that you can put in, and from what I found, it pretty much makes it sound pretty close to stock. So if you need to drive into the office, or if you live in a crowded suburb and you don't want to make your neighbors mad at you in the morning, like, you can just silence it. And really, they're so quick to put on. There's with the AC off. But it's seriously just a 1-bolt Allen wrench that you can put it on. So if you were quick, you could really put both of the silencers on in less than 5 minutes. So if you're worried about this car on like a daily commute to work and not going to the racetrack or out to car meets with your friends, you can just put silencers on. So I just want to show you guys, this has been idling for a little bit, but look at how clean they look. And I got the slant design, which I still would recommend to other people. That is so clean. And from the side, that just looks so cool. Look at that welding. It's almost like gold rings, which I think is so much better than like the Tommy blue tip look. I mean, they're shaking a little bit too, which is like sweet. Almost looks like a American muscle car. Just look at that side profile. Yeah, I know it sticks out a little bit behind the body of the car, but that looks so cool in my opinion. So I'm in the car right now with the windows down, and I'm going 35 miles an hour. Here, I'll roll the windows up, but there's honestly not too much of like annoying cabin drone. Especially, I think this is in 3rd, maybe 4th gear. But it's a little louder in the cabin than stock, but I think as like a car guy or girl, I think you could make that sacrifice for this. Because you can still hold conversations with people, and you can still listen to music if you wanted to. And when you let go of the gas, obviously, you can't hear anything. But I'll show you it from like a stop. Obviously, you could make this, you know, louder and even pop if you revved it up to like 5,000 RPMs. So this is on kind of like a back road. It's not exactly a city street. It really does sound so good. So I want to show you guys coming from a stop sign. And then I'll take it on the highway. Okay. Now this is with the window open. It gets a little loud in the first like 2 gears, but listen to this. And then it quiets down when you get to third. So if you can bear with that, that's pretty much the worst you're gonna get driving around the city, or just like 35 and under roads basically, which is kind of cool when you're leaving like stop signs and intersections like that. It sounds really sporty. This is going on a highway on-ramp. Wow. You could hear that. That really came in handy because there was a bunch of semis about to run me off of the on-ramp. GTR just went by. So if you got a taste of that, that's not the ordinary on-ramp, but I felt really cool sounding like that. So you can kind of make a droning noise on the highway that you can probably hear right now. I really don't think it sounds that bad. And this is going 50, 55 miles an hour, which is like an average highway speed. And there's honestly at some points where it just sounds normal. So I really think it's more of a cool droning noise when it happens. So a little bit about the install, because I didn't think of making a video about it. It was a little tough in some regards to, well, the hardest part honestly was just taking the stock exhaust off because there's like rusted bolts and stuff. The install of the Z1 dual exhaust was really straightforward and easy up until actually situating where the exhaust tips were. And basically all I had to do was just fasten 2 like hose clamps together to almost have like a suspended part of the exhaust, because otherwise you really can't fit it without cutting part of the bumper off, which I really didn't want to do. And I still have it close to the bumper in the back, which you probably saw in the video already. But I got it close, but not close to the point where it was touching, because I didn't want the hot temperature of the exhaust tips to burn the back bumper, obviously, because you see some cars where it looks like their back bumper caught on fire. That sounds so good, guys. I highly recommend it. So yeah, basically just figuring out where the exhaust tips were gonna go was the hardest part, but I just fastened it in a way that it was slightly dropped, so it wasn't hitting any metal housing or the back bumper. One of the exhaust tips sticks out like an inch further than the other side, but I don't really mind that. Honestly, it could have turned out so much worse, and you probably couldn't even tell in the video. So I 100% recommend this exhaust. So if you guys like this video, throw a thumbs up. I'm gonna hopefully have a video coming up soon about installing an oil cooler, Mishimoto oil cooler. So if you like that and you want to see more content like that, gotta wait for it to drop to third. Go ahead and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.